Well, good morning. I'm Josh Harris, and today is day number 1 of my Grown and Gather challenge, where I'm going to only eat the things that I've either grown in my garden or found out in nature for a whole month. And so it's something I'm doing to get better connected with the food that I eat. I am going to give myself a little bit of room for seasonings and some cooking oils and things just to make the meals more enjoyable, but all the main ingredients of everything I'm eating for this month are going to be things that I've found out in nature. And so day number 1 is getting started here. I'm gonna get some breakfast out in my backyard. There's the chickens there, and we got 1 egg. So that's a start. I also picked a papaya the other day that was starting to ripen. I have it on the kitchen windowsill, so hopefully that'll be ready, and I think I'll have an egg and a papaya for breakfast. Here's the first meal of the Grown and Gather challenge. Papaya's good.
Papaya?
Yeah. Man, look at that backyard chicken egg, how orange that yolk is. That's a good egg. Well, I'm off to work. I do have a real job. I don't just get to go running around looking for food all day. But I'm a beekeeper. I own Queen and Colony Bee Company, run it with my wife. And so today I'm feeding bees sugar syrup. And one of the reasons I do that is coming out of winter, the bees, their population is pretty small. And as soon as the spring nectar starts coming in, those queens will start laying a lot of eggs, sometimes up to 2,000 eggs a day. And so by feeding the bees sugar syrup, they treat that as a nectar flow, and those queens will start picking up their laying, and it'll cause the colonies to expand rapidly. And I'm doing that now because next month I need to make a bunch of new colonies, and also I need to bring bees out to Orange Blossom to make honey. And so by feeding them sugar syrup now, I'm just boosting the egg laying and boosting the population so that when I need more bees, I'll have them. And so it's just a little trick that we use to stimulate the bees into expanding a little earlier than they naturally would. Well, I just got out here to the bees, and it is getting cold out here. We had a front come through last night, super windy. Trees are blowing, and I didn't bring a jacket. Luckily I got a bee jacket, so I'm probably gonna be wearing this all day just to try to stay warm. So in here I just have a simple sugar syrup, 1 part sugar, 1 part water by weight. And the bees will treat it as a nectar flow. With all this syrup coming in, the queens will pick up their laying, the worker bees will start making more wax to expand their comb. And it's just a way to get these bees working hard a little bit early in the spring. It's time to forage the farm. This is that farm I was foraging earlier this month, or I guess last month. Like I said, the farmer is pulled out. They're not farming this anymore. It's just overgrown, but there's still some stuff randomly mixed in with the weeds. So I got a garbage bag in my back pocket. I'm just gonna walk around and see what I can find. I especially want some stuff to make a stew for tonight. Me and Judah went squirrel hunting the other day and have some squirrels we're gonna make a stew with. And so I'm just walking around, seeing what I can find. Last week when I was driving out of here, I think I saw some carrots growing deep in the weeds here. So I'm gonna see if I can find those. Down here, you gotta search to find them. Yep, look at that. Carrots in the weeds. That's a good one. Man, this is such a good find right here. Look at all these carrots. Seems like in a foraging situation, so much of what you're finding are kind of leafy greens and things that don't have a whole lot of substance, and so it's nice to find a nice rooty vegetable, something that's hardy. So I'm really excited. There's a lot more carrots here on this row mixed in with the weeds. And so there should be plenty for me to come back to and get more when I need them. But this is more than enough than what I'm going to need for making a stew and having a few other meals with it. This is where the farmers used to plant their seedlings. And it looks like they dropped some seeds here, and there's some real nice bok choys growing up here. So I'm going to take this smaller one. And that thing's beautiful. Man, here's another great find. Right here in the roads, once again, looks like some seeds were dropped. But these looks like some really nice little turnips. And there's quite a few of them growing here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these bigger ones. Man, those look good. It's going to be a good squirrel stew tonight, I'll tell you that. Man, this is awesome. It is not every day you stumble into a foraging opportunity like this. And this is just one of the places I keep bees at for my job. And like I said, the farmers, they quit farming this year, and there's some leftover stuff, so I called the person who manages the property and they said go for it. So these are all good veggies that are up for grabs. And there's another beautiful head of cabbage. Maybe make like a slaw or something out of this to go with some seafood. That would be awesome. Well, I feel like day number 1 of this challenge is going a little bit ridiculously good. But that's just because I have the opportunity to forage this farm field. And man, look at all that food. So I just have my little camp stove going here, and I got some kale, a couple of carrots, some turnips, that little eggplant I found, and some bok choy and a few little cherry tomatoes. I'm just going to stir fry these up and see what they make. There we go. Get those turnips in here. Only thing to make this better is if I had some meat to put in here. But I don't have anything, and I don't see anything walking around to get. The one thing I am going to eat that I got from the store during this challenge is using some spices and seasonings. And so I just got this little multi-spice from the camp section at Walmart. And so I am going to allow myself some seasoning. A little salt and pepper on this will definitely elevate the taste. Man, those are looking good. These turnips are starting to brown up. I've just added my kale and my bok choy in. I'm going to let that steam for a minute. Then it's going to be lunchtime. Alright, food is ready, and I just fashioned myself a little spoon out of a cabbage palm frond. So it's lunchtime. Not bad. Yeah, those turnips are actually really good. Got some tomato and carrots. Ooh. Tomato's still hot. The eggplant's pretty good too. Now granted, if I went to a restaurant and got this meal, I probably wouldn't think it's the best thing I've ever had, but just something about having that experience of going out and finding your own food, then eating it, I mean, it'll make anything taste good. No, don't get me wrong, this isn't bad, but I don't usually just eat cooked veggies by themselves. When I was a teenager, I tried being a vegetarian once, made it about 5 days, and then was driving home from surfing and saw that Checkers had the spicy chicken sandwiches for 99 cents, and that's where I failed as a vegetarian. But I know I don't think I could ever do that. But I do like to eat my veggies here and there, especially when I grow them or forage them. Well, I'm coming to the end of day 1 of the Grown and Gathered Challenge, and here I've made a squirrel stew using some of the vegetables I foraged at the farm today, and also some squirrel that Jude and I got small game hunting last week. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to put it in a bowl and see how it is. Judah is the first one to test this stew out because he shot most of the squirrels. It's the only one I know that eats stew with a fork, though.
Tastes good. Some bones.
Yeah, lots of bones. I remember when you were a little guy, Judah, you're probably like 3 years old, you're at Sunday school class, and you went up to your teacher and said, I choked on a squirrel bone today. They didn't know what to make of that. Judah's been eating squirrels since he was a baby. So I'm ending day 1 of the challenge with a hearty squirrel stew. And I've definitely survived this day. I think I might have put on a couple pounds actually eating so much. But I got 27 more days to go. We'll see if I can make it.